Hello, friends. I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is good, and my workbench is crooked. There we go. Um, so far, nobody has said they would like to purchase Rival Rails, which is probably a good thing. Like, I probably don't need to be making physical copies of the game. I just need to find the audience and the market for it. And I haven't quite done that yet. But yesterday, I got to spend some time with a designer I just met. I actually met this designer on the Threads app, which, if you didn't know, I'm on Threads. I'm also on bluesky and Twitter. Well, I don't check Twitter very often, but I'm on bluesky and I'm on Threads. Everything is Chevee Dodd, just like always. So I met this guy. He's a designer. He's got this game he's been working on, and I told him a couple weeks ago, I was like, listen, I don't know what your goal is for this design, but in a professional capacity, I want to see it when you're ready to show it. And so he was like, can we talk? And I said, sure. So we met, and very cool guy. And the whole conversation was like, it was like looking in a mirror, right? I don't mean physically. We don't have a whole lot in common other than white Anglo-Saxon male physically, but he had like the same story that I had when I started trying to design games, and this is his first game design. I didn't know that. From what I've seen, I've been very impressed with what he's working on. Like, I like this. I really truly want to see this game. I want to, in a professional capacity, I want to consider it. And one of his concerns was he just wants to make his game. Publishing it wasn't even a thought of his. Like, this is his first design. He started on it in January. He used to write. He was a teacher. He was a writer. Like, he's seemed to be a very well versed gamer, tabletop RPGs as well as board games. Had a pretty good collection, knew everything I was talking about, talked to me about some games. Like, so it's not like he was going into this blind. What I mean by that is there's often a lot of first-time designers who have played like a board game or two and are like, I have a great idea, and then they put together this game that already exists, and you're like, yeah, that exists, and you haven't done anything special here. I know you feel like you have, but I'm sorry to be. None of that happened, right? He showed me what he's working on, and I went, yeah, I still want to see this. Like, when you're ready to show it to me, tell me, and I want to take a look at it in a professional capacity. So, but the part that was, he had some ideas, and he started thinking about it, and started putting it down on paper, and that slowly has transitioned into having a game that's playable, that his friend enjoys, that he's showed with a couple people, and now he's going to manufacture a few prototypes, initial prototypes for his friends to take home and play and see if they like it, and feedback and refinement and all that sort of stuff. Very cool. But the thing was, so this all ties back into Rival Rails, I promise. One of his things was, he's like, I don't, like, this game, I'm not precious about this game, but I have ideas, like, way beyond this initial, like, kind of starter kit. Like, that's the way he kind of views this. It's like, this is a core set of ideas that I can build on, and I want to be able to do that. And I don't want to lose control of my game. He's like, I want to be able to make, handmade copies and distribute them. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. Like, when I started, so I don't know if you know this, but Scallywags got published in 2012. I submitted it in 2008. From 2001 to 2008, I had about 5-ish designs that I tried to submit to publishers for those years and never got anywhere with any of them. Just got rejection. And so by 2008, when Scallywags happened, it very similar to the way Dungeon Rummy just happened. Scallywags fell out of my head fully formed. I've told this story before that I literally play tested that game one time, made 0 changes, submitted it to publishers. It got manufactured 4 years later. It took 3 years to hear back from a publisher, and then so in that I had already given up on traditional publishing at that point. And so when Scallywags happened, it was such a simple game. There was only, I believe, 8 different cards, so I only needed 8 pieces of art plus the card backs. I needed some coins, which I was able to manufacture on the back of some wooden nickels. I created this product, and I gave it away for free. It became my first print and play game. And over the next 4 or 5 years, I did everything that I did was open in the public. I blogged about it. Every game design I tried was free to download and try, like every iteration. So you can go. There was a game I did called I don't remember what it was called. It's a zombie game. And the idea was I wanted a zombie game where you could die, but I didn't want player elimination. So if you die, you get turned into a zombie, and then you continue to play the game, but now you're playing it differently than everybody else. And if the zombies win, then the last person, whatever. So you can get a communal win through zombie, So I tried. There's probably 14 different iterations of that game that you can download and try. And so I blogged about every change. I made PDF files of all of that. And it was very important to me to just forego the publishing process and just be able to just give my stuff away. And I still do that. If you go to the Game Crafter right now and look at my page, you can find Pull, you can find Tuesday Night Tanks, Paperboy or Paper Route. I think Leathernecks is still on there, but you can't buy it because they don't have the dice anymore. There might be some other stuff, but if you buy those games from the Game Crafter, actually, this might be a lie. I think I just changed Pull so that I make a small profit if it sells. But if you buy any of the other ones, I make $0. I don't make anything. They're whatever price you see there is how much it costs for the Game Crafter to manufacture it. That might be not true. They might round it up to 99 cents. So whatever the price is, if it's $25.50, they sell it for $25.99, and I make that 40 cents or whatever. But I don't charge for these things, and that was very important to me in that process. When GameRight signed Scallywags, I said I want to be able to continue to distribute this game, and they said, well, you can, but we need you to take the files off of BGG. Like we don't want people to be able to go download the game without putting in the effort. And when I talked to them, so I designed the game, they published it. Like 6 months later, my youngest wanted to play with us, but she couldn't read. And so I came up with a dice version. It was the same game with dice, so that we could play with cards and she could play with dice, and it was the same game. Like she would enjoy and have fun with us. And I asked them if I could do that and if I could make those dice available, and they were like, yeah. And so this person that I spoke with yesterday, he had the same, like, I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to make expansions. I want to be like, yeah, you can totally do that. Like, that's not a problem. I just want to, in a professional capacity, I want to look at this game from a publisher standpoint and say, yeah, this is something that I'm interested in. Or, ultimately, the reality is the answer, it'll probably be a pass. But I want to give it that shot, right? Like, I'm very interested in what it is has been on my radar for a while. It's a game that I've been looking for a while, and so we'll see. But it was interesting to hear me sitting on this side of the desk, listening to a designer who is newish to gaming. No, he's very new to board game design and the whole publication process. He's not new to gaming. To hear him kind of parrot at me the same concerns that I had in the beginning, it was really kind of eye-opening. And so I now look at a product like Rival Rails, and I think the correct answer is I shouldn't sell it. I mean, I will, especially to you guys. There's only 20 of you watching this video. If you guys want it, I will gladly sell it to you for cost and and just enjoy the fact that my friends like to play things that I've designed. But I probably should put together a print and play version if I can somehow. I'm not sure how I would do the tokens and stuff, but I should probably put together something because that's been my way all this time. And I would like to do the same thing with the Dungeon Rummy. I had 2 people contact me saying they would like to test Dungeon Rummy, and I'm going to send them decks. Nobody else took me up on that offer. I should probably make that available as a print and play, but the way that people are like, the way that AI artwork is online right now, I'd have to figure out a different art path for me to feel comfortable doing that. And I don't have any artist friends who would be willing to do it for, pennies, because I'm not going to sell this game. So we'll see. Maybe I'll put it up. Maybe I'll put together some files for Rival Rails, and if you don't want to buy it or you don't want me to send it to you, you can just try it at home kind of thing. Anyway, what do you got going on? Anything exciting? Any questions you want to ask? I always like Q&As. Put it in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is sequester. It is a verb meaning to remove and isolate a portion from a larger whole. A great deal of genetic engineering must be done before we have carbon eaters sequestering carbon in sufficient quantity to convert their burning fossil fuels. Freeman Dyson, English-born American physicist and mathematician. Sequester, S-E-Q-U-E-S-T-E-R. Okay, I knew the word. Carbon eaters sequestering carbon in sufficient quantity to counteract the burning of fossil fuels. Oh, I just couldn't read that sentence for some reason. He's saying that we're working on things that can eat carbon and turn it into something else so we can counteract the damage we're doing with the burning of fuel.